Hi guys, welcome to my first YouTube video. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a welcome sign for your front porch. It's pretty easy, nothing to it. I think the hardest part is just in design space, putting all the letters and words together and sizing them to make sure they fit perfect on the wood. I went ahead and bought a 6x10. Well, it said 6x10 at the Home Depot store, but I think when I measured it, it was a 6x9.25. So just keep that in mind. And I went with those measurements, and I went ahead and I measured each word individually to make sure it all fits. So this is the vinyl that I decided to use. I'm going to give this a try. Hopefully it works good. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 3 individual ones and walk you guys step by step on how to do the letters, how to do the names and the monogram with the wreath and everything. So let's get on design space and let me show you guys how to do that.
Alright guys, so we are on Cricut Design Space. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to start off with the wreath. I went ahead and I bought one off of Etsy, which is this one. This one is also another one that I had seen, but I liked this one best. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my wreath. It's going to the left. I want it to go to the right, so I'm going to go ahead and flip that, and you do that by going up here, and there you go. Now it's coming, it's turning to the right. So that's perfect. For the monogram, I went ahead and I just used a regular font, which is Baskerville Old Face, sorry. And that's what I went with, something basic, nothing too extravagant. Again, I already have my measurements, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my measurements here. And you guys again can go ahead and measure your wood and every single letter to see how you like it, depending also, you know, on the size of the wood that you guys are going to be doing. Okay, so for my wreath, I did a 7x7. So you guys can copy the exact measurements if you're using the same size of board as I am. So just kind of, you know, make sure it all lines up. You can come up here, make sure that's centered. There we go. So the next thing I do is I go ahead and select all and attach. That way when it cuts, it's going to cut everything together, so that way I don't have to be placing it one by one. Next, I'm going to go ahead and do the last name, and I'm going to do all caps. Okay, and again, I already have my measurements, so I'm going to go ahead and enter my measurements here. This is going to be right. Alright, perfect. So there's that. Make sure we lock that. And the next thing is the, I use the same font, by the way, for that also. And for the, oops, took off the caps. This I went ahead, I did use a different font for this one. And I used Lana Jane. So for this one, I did use Lana Jane for the font. So I try to get them as close as I can, and obviously it's not going to line up because that H is going to be too close. So what I do is we can do it. I get them as close as possible. Then you want to come up here and ungroup, so that way you have each, you can move each letter around. So for these, I'm just going to select this, and I'm going to move it a little bit over. Right there, I think is good. That's perfect. So there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and select it. We're going to weld. We want to weld because if not, it's going to cut right through each individual word. And hopefully here, sometimes when you put them too close, it'll fill in the gap that's in the E. So once we put weld, we'll find out if it, oh, perfect. So it didn't do it, so that's good, and we have our word there. So now I'm going to go ahead and enter my measurements. Perfect. Okay, so there we go. have that one done. Next one is going to be family. Okay, same thing. We're going to go ahead and I make it a little bigger just so I'm able to see each individual, you know, how close they are. So I'm going to go ahead and get them as close as possible. That actually looks good there. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm still going to go ahead and ungroup because I want that, this one just a little closer. There we go. And then I'm going to move the whole thing over just a bit so it won't be so far away. And you can just eyeball it, see how you like it. Don't forget to weld. And then we're going to go ahead and it's 1.804 by 2.049. There we go. Alright, perfect. So this one's done. For the line, I grabbed a font. I just went and I used B3, and this font seemed to work for me, and I just put the L, lowercase l, and there you go. Now we can make this bigger, and I already have my size. I'm gonna go ahead and put in my size, 0.709. There's my line. Okay, so this one will go here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this one, and it's slightly, I believe it's slightly, oh no, they're both the same for the top part. Oops. I'm gonna move this one down. I'm gonna bring this one next to it. Alright, so I'm gonna move it just a tad. There we go. Alright, and for family, same thing. Okay, so let's go right about there. And it just depends how close you want it. And then we're gonna bring our last name up here. So there you go. Like I said, guys, you guys can measure this and go, you know, however you feel as far as how far you want these lines apart from the word. So that's completely up to you. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and just attach, and there we go. We're all set for that. Okay, now this is bigger than I need it to be for my wood, so I'm gonna go ahead and open that up, unlock that, and I have my measurements here, which is 868 by 523. Well, now it's perfect to fit on the wood. So we have this all lined up. So that's done. This was the hardest part. So we've got that done. Next, we're going to go ahead and do welcome. So we're going to put our caps lock, and we're going to do welcome. Don't forget to change your font. The same font that I use. Baskerville Old Base. For these, I went ahead and let's make this a little bigger. I did each individual letter. The height, I did it 6 inches for each one. The width is a little different only because obviously, you know, the W is a little wider than the some, and the M also. I do have the measurements for each. I went ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and ungroup this. So now we have each individual letter. We're gonna do the first one. I have my measurement, 7.5 by 6. That's it. So I use the same measurements, and that's it. And then I'm gonna click make it. Okay, and I am using a 12 by 24 mat. So there we go. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and send this over to the machine so it can cut. And I have my maker. That's what I'm going to be using. So we'll go to next. We don't need to mirror it because it's vinyl that I'm using, not iron-on. So we are ready. I'm going to go ahead and choose vinyl default, and my machine is telling me that it's ready. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut all this out, and I will be back.
So I'm done weeding everything. Hopefully you guys can see. I know it's kind of hard because it's white on white. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything on a transfer sheet so I can place it on the wood. This is the transfer tape that I've been using. I love it. This is the first time actually though that I'm going to use it on an actual wood piece, so hopefully it doesn't leave any residue. So I'm going to cut out to size. I have all of these the way I want them, so I'll have to cut a big piece for these two and then some small pieces for these. Okay guys, so I'm on the last piece. I went ahead and cut it. I just wanted to show you guys how I transfer it onto the transfer tape. I cut it to as much as I could save, to not waste so much transfer tape. But to transfer it over, I just take it off a bit, only because this is a larger piece. Place it on there, like so, and slowly start ripping the bottom off. So now I've got all my pieces on there. And I'm just going to go over this, make sure it really sticks onto the transfer tape. Okay, and that should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and get my board on here, and so we can place them on. So I have gone ahead and I have my wood. I went ahead and I sanded it, stained it, let it dry for over 24 hours. So I went ahead and I marked where I need that to go and how low I need the wreath with the monogram on. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and place that. We're gonna peel it off of our thing, off of our transfer sheet. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead, I have my squeegee ready. Go ahead and place this exactly where I want it. So right now I'm just making sure it sticks to the wood and stays put. I didn't film it. Alright. And if it comes up, just kind of, you can press it with your squeegee. It should stay down. Okay you guys, so here's the finished look with the bow. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I think it looks great. And the bow was really easy. I just did a simple, I don't know how to make bows, but I just did a simple little, I tied this to the back all around, and then I made the bow. So I used the same size of pieces for both, the one that wraps around and the bow. So it's the size 21 inches all around, and 21 inches for this too. And then I just cut a small piece and wrapped it around so you can see where I tied it together. And I just used hot glue on the back to put it together. So I hot glued it onto the board, and then I hot glued the pieces in front of each other. And that was it. If you guys want me to go more into detail on how I made the bow, you can comment below. That way I will make a video of how I did that bow. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to hit the like button to get notified of new videos, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye guys.